Hey, this is Mick's Walmart perspective to Beachbody coaching. It was probably 10 years ago, 2008, 8 years ago. And I remember walking out of a Walmart, and in the parking lot was a $350,000 Bentley. And I just laughed to myself, and I thought, because I'm a car guy, and I thought, who the hell drives a $350,000 Bentley and goes to Walmart? And, I'm getting in my 5-year-old BMW and I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good. But it still would blend in with some of the cars in Walmart parking lot, not the junkers, but, I thought I was doing okay. And so I drove away and I kind of thought about that a little bit more and a little bit more. And I was like, weird, so I let it go. And just recently, I'm standing in line at Walmart. Here we are 8 years later. And in the line at Walmart, I can't help but the guy in front of me is on the phone and he's talking rather loud. And he said, I hope she's okay. I'll be there as fast as I can. And that's the only part of the conversation that I heard. But the way that he said she, it made me think. And I reached out and I put my hand on his shoulder, total stranger. And he turns around and I said, hey, I couldn't help but hear the way you explained or said the word she. And I said, that can only be your mom, your wife, or your daughter. I go, which one is it? And he said, it's my daughter. And he said, she was riding around the neighborhood on her bike and she took a bad spill. And my wife called me from work because I'm the only one that has a car. And she really messed up her arm. And I said, that explains the ice and the card. He had this big bag of ice and a card, which I thought was a little unorthodox anyway, because you can get the ice on the way out. So you can tell he's kind of flustered. So I looked at him and I said, get your ice, get your card, go be with your daughter. And 20th century, I took a picture of the barcode on the back of the card. And the guy just looked at me, no more conversation, and just said, thanks, and split. And so I wait, because we're like 8 or 9 people deep in this stupid line at Walmart. And when I get up there, I take care of my stuff, and then I tell the lady, I go, I need a bag of ice, which wasn't a big deal because they got the little card back there. And I said, and I need to pay for this card. And I showed her on my phone. And she just starts going off on me. She goes, well, what's this? And I said, well, it was a guy that was in line, and he had to go. So I'll pay for his bag of ice that he already took and charge me for this card. And she lit into me how wrong that was, and you could just tell, nothing against her, and please don't badmouth the Walmart people, okay? She's just doing what she was trained or told to do, and anyway, it was hilarious. So for like 5 minutes, she's just going off on me about that's just the wrong thing to do, and inventory, and how do I know, and we need to scan this thing, and I'm like, but the irony behind it all is she took her little deal on my phone and it worked. So anyways, as I'm shaking my head and biting my tongue, like with everything that I have, because I just wanted to like blow her face off. But I didn't. I just kind of, again, just thought, okay. And then as I'm walking out of Walmart, as I was taking steps away from that counter and walking out of Walmart, it felt like a force was trying to pull me down to the center of the earth as I was taking steps out of that place. Like, oh my God, is this real? Is this how people think? And when I went out of Walmart, and it was a nice sunny day, and I just got this like breeze in my face and fresh air, first day of spring, right? Fresh air, and I was like, oh, thank God, that's not my life. Like, and I thought for a minute, like, either of them. Now, depending upon what your takeaway is, as I walk up to my really nice, sparkly sports car and get in it, which probably stands out in a Walmart parking lot, it all came full circle to me. And I thought, you know what? Just like that guy with the crazy Bentley, here I am getting in my nice car, and you can't take the content of the person out. regardless of success or whatever, if he knows he's got the best deal on his shampoo and his favorite razors are at Walmart, I'll be damned if that guy ain't going to Walmart to get them. Or maybe he sends a driver. I don't know. But they still want what they want, and they're still the same person, right? So it's just kind of funny. I don't know what your takeaway is from the story, but here's mine. So I could tell that this guy was just completely just a look of guilt on his face that he has to be at work and he missed this thing with his daughter. It sounded like he had a stay-at-home mom, so he's probably killing himself to make enough money for his family, if it's even just the three of them, or maybe there's even more kids. You could see it on his face, and by the big bag of ice for her swollen arm, which now he thinks is maybe broken, you know, that they didn't, you could just tell that they didn't have insurance. I'm sure he's driving a clunker car, one of the clunker cars in the drive in the parking lot, and it's, I hate to say it this way, but it's all by choice. Just like the guy that drives the Bentley to come to Walmart to get his stuff. You can't look at that person, and I did 8 years ago. I looked at that situation and I was like, what a pompous ass, you know, I mean, why would you bring something like that to a Walmart? You're just trying to show off. But you have to give it up to that type of person or any person, and you have to understand that he's good at, or she, driving the Bentley, could be she, right? That they're really good at one thing, and they're so good at it that it allows them to excel. And I bet you it's not the fact that he's a lawyer or an attorney or an investor or whatever that person does, multi-level marketing, maybe. But most importantly, that takeaway should be is that he's really good with people and people's skills. And he thought enough of himself to make different choices. Obviously, they were the right choices to allow him to become, or I should say enjoy, a better level of life. He's not a different person, or she's not a different person, right? But it's like when we were a kid. If your mom or your dad or whoever it was that taught you how to ride a bike sat you down and told you, I'm putting you on this piece of metal, and it's probably the scariest damn thing you're ever going to do, and you could break every bone in your body in the next 50 feet, but I'm going to put this little plastic helmet on you, and I'm going to give you a push, and you do the best you can. You would flip out. You would like frickin' freak, right? But everybody does it. Why? Because when you're young, you don't have the fear. You don't have all these years of fear and doubt and things that are going to hold you down or have you second guess a situation before you've tried it, right? And that kid wants to ride that bike more than anything. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. So we need to think as an adult and look around and go, look at all the people that have success. Everybody else is doing it. It's time to get mine, right? So there's my little Walmart story. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe it'll help.